Lively,
Here.
Ford, Van Zant,
Here.
Hopper,
Here.
Webb.
We have a quorum. Moving on to the consent agenda. Does anybody want anything moved out of the consent agenda?
I did not have any.
No, I didn't see anything.
I didn't see
either.
anything either, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve items 1 through 5.
I will second that motion.
If we could call for a vote at this time, please?
Lively,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes.
Okay, do we have any remarks or inquiries from the audience not pertaining to anything on the agenda?
That's you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I love it.
okay. Moving on to item number 6, discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2017, 12/17/24, moving the hospital board meeting from 5 p.m. to the fourth Tuesday of every month unless a holiday occurs, to 5:30 on the fourth Tuesday of every month unless a holiday occurs.
That was easy for you to say.
I'll make that motion.
And I will second it.
If we could call for a vote.
Lively,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes.
You want to
Now,
tell
this also does have to go before the board, the city
Okay.
board.
Okay,
Oh,
at their
sure.
next meeting for final approval.
Sure.
Okay.
Great.
Wonderful.
Moving on to item number 7, discussion and possible action terminating CLA as the hospital's auditing firm and engaging with PYA to take over auditing duties due to delays in CLA completing the facility's audits. PYA currently does the facility's cost reporting and is best suited to satisfy the facility's auditing requirements.
Yeah, and I'm here pinch hitting for Adrian, her 3-year-old's having her first play at Edith, so.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, I wanted to do that, and I was only having, once. But, I'm just trying to get our audits caught up today and move forward as quickly as possible. PYA has been just a tremendous advocate. They also do a lot of teaching and training. Critical Access Hospitals is their cup of tea. We use them for all of our cost reports. And so I'm just trying to get us, not only FY22, get our single audit done for HRSA and move forward and get us up to 23. And not have any delays in the future.
So we approved CLA back in February.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've done.
They have slow played clearly.
Yes, so that's why
They
we want
weren't
to
even-
move over.
But why is there such a discrepancy in the prices for
Well-
the 2021, and I think it was 2021, and then the other, there's like a huge discrepancy in the price that they want
Yeah.
to charge?
There-
How
there's-
come?
There's a couple of things, let me answer, thank you for asking. So, one is when they were done, but there's a financial statement audit, and then there's a single audit. The single audit is just reporting on all the PRF and the HRSA fund, and that's why that one's not as much as it normally is.
So that's the oldest one, that's
Yeah,
2021,
that's
I
what-
think,
that's-
or whatever.
That's one that we need to make sure we take care of first, and I'm trying to stay on top of those, period, and get those done. And then the audit piece, I went and looked, and I think what CLA quoted us was like about 25,000 or something like that. This one's 30,000. I also looked,
No, I meant between the 2 years that they're going to do, there's that discrepancy of prices.
Because of the single audit, one's the financial.
Yeah, it's not because of the 2 years, one's a financial statement audit and one's a single audit. They're totally different scopes. So the single audit is just reporting on the PRF funds that we receive. The financial statement audit is the entire audit. And not, just to give you a little bit of history, what used to be BKD and became Forbes, and now it's BKD/Forbes/Mars. Theirs, I looked at what it would be today for this, and it would be $47,000 for the same thing. That would be their base fee for right now, if I look at it. So 30,000 is where we think we'll land on the financial statement audit. But the other ones are all, that's a great question. They're all, it's just a single piece, and that's why.
Okay, and then was CLA paid anything?
They've been
Thus
paid
far?
for the ones that they've done, but nothing for anything for this year.
Okay, so for the years that you're trying to switch to PYA, they haven't been paid anything?
No, there's no overlapping or
So they've actually done the work that they have received any payment for. It's actually been done.
What CLA did in the past is done, and it's been paid for. And the other thing, too, not to get off on a tangent, but they issue those 95% of all their clients, they just issue this generic, you know, thing that I know drives Corey nuts and drives everyone else nuts, and none of the other firms, I can't find any other national firm that even does that. So that's something we're trying to avoid as well in the future, so. But
Okay.
the important piece too is not just this, but I will tell you, every time I pick up a phone or ask any question, it's not just that, they've been strategic partners as well, so.
The
it's-
PYA,
PYA has been in every aspect of that, and this is about, again, like I said, this is about as complicated accounting as it gets,
Mhm.
so.
sure. And I
It's a great
believe
question,
you,
thank you.
I believe you kind of said that you had already looked at like what some other firms would kind of charge, and that's gonna be about the best price that you
Yeah.
felt was
Yeah.
available out there.
And to add that, you know, we had all those legal things before, and some of them, and BKD at the time would not, they declined,
Mhm.
so they wouldn't even do it, so other firms did the same thing, they wouldn't even do it.
Because of the liabilities
And
or
there's
whatever.
such a sense of urgency to get caught up, I
Okay.
can't emphasize that, you know, I know the board wants that, the city wants that, we certainly want it, so.
I think that's all the questions I have.
In a board meeting. So sorry, but listen, there, do y'all hear the humming? There's like a.
I do now when you're talking. I don't know if your mic's turned up too high
I
or,
think
Mine's not even on,
they
I
messed with
think.
the
Yeah, it
mics.
is. Yeah, your mic's red, it's on. I hear it real bad now.
Is that when there's two mics, or there's three, they're all three red, though, they're all.
Yeah, these are all on, so.
I know he messed
Yeah,
with
turn those
mics
two
last
off.
week, so it might be the
That makes it
volume.
better.
Oh, good,
Yeah, went away.
It did.
Yep.
that's good.
It's probably just picking up
You
something.
got some good ears, Miss Claus.
And I don't, that's the crazy part, 'cause this one's got a hole in it. And it was bugging.
We all should have heard it.
It was
Yeah, that's
bugging.
what she said.
I hear so much stuff, I stay like overstimulated, it doesn't even faze me anymore. I figured y'all would have way more questions than me.
Well, now, is this a company that y'all are using for all the other hospitals?
Yes, ma'am.
And
It's a
have
national
for a long
firm.
time?
Yeah, they have all.
I looked them up today just to kind of check it out myself.
Good for you.
Looked like they had quite a few places.
Yeah, actually, OHA's using them too now, and they were trying to introduce me to using them for another thing, and I said, I'm fortunate to have crossed paths with them about a year ago. Wished I'd have crossed paths with them even sooner than that, but it's been very good. It's, more important, it's been very good for all my hospitals.
Mm-hmm. Good. Undertaker, are you checking something out?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 7.
I will second it. I mean, gotta have the audits, they gotta be done.
Could call for a vote.
Lively,
Yes.
Van Zandt,
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes.
Item number 8, discussion of possible action to approve the engagement letter between PYA and Mangum Regional Medical Center for FY 2022 financial statement audit.
And is that just a letter that says that they're going to do the audit for that year?
Yes.
And that everybody agrees to the terms set forth? Like
And
just the
what they're
official-
responsible for.
Okay. I'd make a motion that we approve item number
I'll
8 if
second
anybody
that.
has any questions.
We
or
could
doesn't
call
have
for a
questions.
vote
Gotta
at this
have it.
time, please.
Lively,
Yes.
Van Zandt,
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes.
Moving on to item number 9, discussion possible action to approve engagement letter between PYA and Mangum Regional Medical Center for the 21 single audit.
Same type of deal.
I'd like to make a motion
Now,
that we approve.
but-
Oh, sorry.
Going back to her question earlier, have we already paid some on 21? Not at all. Okay.
That was a financial statement audit, totally separate.
Okay.
That's a great question, thank you.
Okay.
No, I'm glad you did this.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
If we could call for a vote, please.
Lively,
Yes.
Van Zandt,
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to the discussion possible action to enter into executive session for the review and approval of the medical staff privileges credentials contracts for the following providers pursuant to 25 OS 307B1.
Guess I would make a motion that we enter executive session.
I'd like to second that motion.
Lively,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes.
Executive session at 5:11. The boardroom's open back there.
Okay.
Or deny.
I'll make a motion that we return from executive session.
I'll second it.
We could call for a vote.
Lively,
Yes.
Van Zant,
No.
To come out of executive session? Okay.
Hopper.
Yes. I should
Okay.
have said no just for the heck of it, just see what happens, and we just stuck.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay, moving on to item number 10.
11,
Oh,
right?
yeah, 11. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the credentialing and the re-credentialing of all of the applicants.
I will second that motion.
If we could call for a vote?
Lively,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Van Zant.
Yes.
And that's your punishment.
Yeah. Do we have any remarks or inquiries by the governing board members, city manager, city attorney, city employees, or former esteemed mayors?
I do have a question. Last time we talked about how much it was per day. We were paying this, that, and the other. Do y'all remember this discussion? Like it was some ungodly figure a day that we were paying or supposed to be paying, and Andrea, is that correct? Okay, I need to kind of,
You mean a week?
Like to
maybe a
run-
week, excuse
To
me,
run the
yes.
facility, or?
I mean, it was
Or
like
the
something.
payment to Cohesive?
That might have been it too. So can y'all kind of go back over some of that from last time,
Let's just
because
talk about the 245 payment to Cohesive, that if we are able to pay, that we pay. That's what
well, I
she's
know
talking about.
that's a monthly.
Yeah, no, that's the
Oh, okay.
management fee.
No,
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Amendment.
invoices. What we do is we try to take, here's what I can tell you the easiest way to say this.
Okay.
We look at Mangum's cash, and I try to make sure we try to make sure they always maintain 10 days cash on hand, which is at least a minimum of that. Means like, if your expenses are $48,000 a day, then we want to try to keep at least $480,000 if we can, close to $500,000 in that bank at all times. The hardest thing is when Medicare money is going to come in or when it isn't. We get a projection, but it's not etched in stone, everything, and sometimes it fluctuates. But what I do is we take all the expenses that we have to pay in a given month, and we look and say, and I would help them do this for me and say, okay, you gotta pay everybody else.
Mhm.
So this is what we gotta
Right.
pay them every single month. What do we have left over? And that's how we arrive at what we can try to pay Cohesive for that given month, and we break it down by 4 weeks to pay the set amount for each week. And then, what we determine from the money that we do have is, okay, let's make sure we try to pay our oldest invoices that we possibly
Mhm.
still have and haven't paid at that time, and pay those first. So that's what we.
Well, and we threw, I mean, it was thrown out an amount that's pretty much done. And it wasn't the 245. It wasn't anything like that. It was-
245 times 4, which is probably around, I was thinking it was 9.
Okay, so 245 is,
Times-
you try
times-
to do that every week.
Every week, yes ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've got the actual.
That probably was it then, because we were thinking right at $1 million.
Because we're trying to pay the old invoices off like Dennis is saying, that's why it's $245 a week, if
And-
it's available.
And to help you with that, here, and I can show you, but, because most of us are visual, but I don't mind doing that sometimes, but, and Adrian has it too. So I
Mhm.
helped her, I had this cash management tool that I use to come in because I've had to go and help facilities that try to get them turned around. And so you do it basically like you do of your own household, and that is, well, how much do I have? And what is everything I know I gotta pay?
Oh, sure, I understand that
Yeah,
part,
and so
yes.
that's what we due on a daily basis and everything. And so we know when everybody else has got to get paid, and we have all those scheduled out. And so then we determine based on our cash receipts, how much can we pay of that $245? Can we do that and still try to stay within and I already, and Adrian, believe it or not, has already done our financial statements, and I reviewed them, so we have that, but we just got them today, so we didn't. And the other part too is like now, like I can tell you, as of the end of November, we got an $800,000 receipt. That's how much we've been underpaid by Medicare. So that's hurting, not helping us, and so when your census goes down, your ability.
So they have not paid that then?
No, and what I did, Cheryl, is I worked with our team and I said, well, let's not wait till year end at 12/31, because by the time we do that, then that means we won't file a cost report till May, and at May 31st, and then we're sitting there and it's July or August before they settle up. So
Right.
we're gonna file a 11-month IRR. We're gonna try to get that done here at the first part of January. Now we already have the financials and I've already reviewed them. We're gonna send that off to Novitas, but first we had to reach out to them and say, will you take it? Because they've never taken it. So we're gonna try to get the money back sooner and not have, and hopefully get it about 4 months sooner than we ever would have if it all possible.
So if we were to walk down here to the bank, would we have 480,000 sitting in there right now?
I could have to go and see, I don't know. I'd have to look and see what it is right now. I have to see every day because you probably have more, but I have to subtract outstanding checks. So we have some checks that haven't cleared
Oh, sure.
right now. So I look at the net balance. So
Yeah, 'cause they just went out.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
what-
confident they had more than 400,000 right now in the bank,
Okay.
but it can get down to where, again, on a given time where it has less than that. And what we did, because of the census being low and everything, for the last two payments, to Cohesive, instead of being 245, I dialed them down to 100,000.
Okay, my other question is, I know everywhere I've been of late, everybody's talking about needing to get their ARPA funds accounted for, as far as, have we done that?
That's what we're trying to finish these audits for.
Yep.
Yeah, we've done every single thing that we have. As a matter of fact, I've even actually reviewed and reconciled and made sure all the property balances are done. We did that all along. Now it's just getting it finished, getting the single audit piece.
But at one time, we talked about there being another account at the bank that was just for ARPA, those
No.
funds? There's not?
No,
Oh.
we don't, we have a separate account that we left called a savings thing or whatever, but we don't have it. So I hope everything that's here is on our balance sheet, presented every.
So the other account down here is just savings, you're saying?
Yes,
Okay.
there are two bank accounts.
Yeah.
Hold up, OD.
Okay.
Good question.
Any other questions?
Nope.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
If we could call for a vote.
Lively,
Yes.
Van Zandt.
No.
You made the motion.
Hopper. Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Meeting is adjourned.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you
Cheers.
guys.
Have a safe trip back.